I had a very strong conversation with President Putin, and he understood. And I won't go into the great details of the conversation because nobody has to know that. But I will tell you, it never, ever would have happened.
I don't want to say it, but did they fear me? I suspect they did. To Putin, I said, if you go in to Ukraine, we're going to bomb the shit out of Moscow. I'm telling you, I had no choice. The public wants it. The public. So he goes like, I don't believe you. He said, no way. And I said, wait. And then he goes like, I don't believe you. But the truth is, he believed me 10%. And I told you this, he believed me 10%. Then I'm with President Xi of China. But I said the same thing to them. I said, if you go into Taiwan, I'm going to bomb the shit out of Beijing. He thought I was crazy. He said, Beijing, you're going to bomb Beijing. I said, I have no choice. I got to bomb. We're going to bomb Beijing. And he didn't believe me either, except 10%. And 10% is all you need. In fact, 5% would have been okay too. And we never had a problem. We would have never had a problem.
Donald Trump is a lying sack of manure. He never said this. It's a just straight up lie that he told. It's part of this fiction that he's created around himself of being a strong president, a strong leader. There was never a moment in Donald Trump's first term where Russia was threatening to invade Ukraine. Never a moment. Not one. Russia was talking about the Minsk Accords, the Minsk Accords, the Minsk Accords. And the same thing with Taiwan. There wasn't a single moment in Donald Trump's first term where the concept of a imminent Chinese invasion of Taiwan was taking place. Not at all. No intelligence assessment talked about it. China didn't have the force structure prepared for that. Zero. This is a fabrication of this goes beyond lying. This isn't just a simple lie. This is a man who lives in a fantasy world. Vladimir Putin, who is shorter than Donald Trump, came out like the cock of the walk. He just was boom, 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 head up, chest out, confident. Trump out like a chastised little puppy dog, because that's all this orange-faced idiot is. He's not a real man. He's not strong. He's not brave. He doesn't say this. I can guarantee you 100% certainty he did not say this to Vladimir Putin, because he wouldn't dare, because Vladimir Putin is a hell of a lot stronger, and he has been a power a lot stronger, and he has a nuclear arsenal, because the response would have been, hey, shut up, Don. If you attack Moscow, we take you off the face of the earth. All right? And Xi Jinping, you really think Donald Trump, this fat, pathetic, orange-faced idiot, this man-child, is going to talk like that to Xi Jinping, the president of China, one of the most powerful men in the world? No, not on your life. This is the lies that Donald Trump told on the campaign trail, and now they've come back to bite him. This is the same thing. If you remember when he put the tariffs on China, I've tariffed China. China's bad. My big tariffs, beautiful tariffs. They're wonderful. And we've broken China. China's called me in a panic and said, my God, we got to negotiate with you. And so I went ahead and agreed to lower the tariffs. And China's like, we didn't call you. We don't care what you do. We don't care at all what you do. We have our own policy, our response. We'll crush you if you want to be crushed. If you want to lower the tariffs, we'll have a conversation with you. But China doesn't play that game. China doesn't play that game. Neither does Russia. This is embarrassing. This is one of the more embarrassing moments in my entire life as an American, to have this fat, orange-faced fool saying stupid things. And he's literally talking about creating the conditions for a nuclear war. This man shouldn't be anywhere near the magic button that sends nuclear weapons flying. This is something Congress should investigate. Literally, if I were Congress, I would say, I want to investigate. Mr. President, did you make this statement? I want to hear it from you right now. We heard it, your voice in 2024, but now that you're the president of the United States, sworn to uphold and defend the Constitution, did you make such a statement to the Russians? Can you commit on record? When did you make this statement? In what context? He didn't make this statement. This is a bald-faced lie, a bald-faced lie. Imagine being the Russians right now, because for him to tell that lie means somewhere deep in his heart, he wants to bomb Moscow. Right. Now you're the Russians going, okay, bring it on, Mr. President. We're not going to publicly say this to humiliate you, but we don't care what you think, because you don't matter. And that's what bothers Trump. He doesn't matter. He wants to matter. He wants people to fear him. He can't even get the Iranians to fear him. He had to broadcast that he was bombing empty sites in advance. I mean, and then he has to brag that it's the greatest military strike in the history of military strikes. All other things pale in this, because Donald Trump is, of course, the greatest, brilliant mind. It was all a charade, a fake. Yes, they dropped real bombs on real targets, but it was all just a charade. And that's the whole thing about Trump. There's nothing substantive about him. He's stupid, literally. I used to think, he couldn't be stupid because he's a New York State real estate guy. No, he's just corrupt. That's how he succeeded in New York State real estate, not because he's smart, just because he's corrupt. And now he brings this corruption, this corrupt mindset to the most powerful position in the world. And it's humiliating to watch this man literally debase everything America stands for, everything we stand for.
Speaking of Russia and Ukraine, it was also announced earlier today that Donald Trump is fast tracking weapons to Ukraine.
No, he's not. He's a liar. There's a reason Pete Hegseth put a freeze on it, because we don't have them anymore. And so now Donald Trump, embarrassed, has to say something. We're going to fast track. Where are they coming from? How many are there? I mean, 10 batteries? Where are you going to get 10 batteries, Mr. President? You're going to strip them from the armed forces of the United States of America? I don't think so. Even your bootlicking Secretary of Defense won't let you do that. Congress won't let you do that. So where are you going to get it, Mr. President? You saw Zelensky. Now that we got the president to commit in words, we now have to follow through to actually have him produce the stuff. He's a liar. We don't have it, but he can't admit that he's weak. He can't admit that we don't have it. Where are these missiles coming from? Nobody knows. Do they even exist? Nobody knows. Have they been produced yet? Nobody knows. It's just a president lying. It's what he does. Donald Trump lives in a fantasy world where there is no reality. It's only, I am Donald Trump, and because I say I want this, it shall happen. And unfortunately, we have enough sycophants in the United States and around the world who play that game, just enough to make him feel like, maybe if I do say it, it will happen. But the people that count, the powers out there, China, they didn't crack on trade. Russia, they didn't crack on Ukraine. Iran, they're not cracking on nuclear. Hamas, they ain't going to give up. These people will not bend the knee to Donald Trump, and he can't handle that. He can't handle that. That's the reality. And Donald Trump wants the Russians to pretend that, no, they can peacefully coexist with this pro-Western Ukraine because Donald Trump has decided that he's going to invest in rare earth minerals in Ukraine. Oh, yeah. Sorry, Donnie. The Russians just took over the largest deposit of lithium in Ukraine. It's theirs. You ain't going to get it. And if we wait another couple months, Russia will also take over the rest of it up there in Dnipropetrovsk, and none of your rare earth minerals will be under the control of the Ukrainian government. All of them will be under control of Russia. They don't care about your agreement. See, Russia doesn't care. Russia only cares about that which pertains to Russia's legitimate national security concerns, which do not infringe on anything dealing with American national security. It just infringes on Donald Trump's oversized ego.